It's spooky. Hello there, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of the Pastatime with the Scaryish Pasta. Scaryish Pasta. We're the Scaryish Podcast, and I'm Rom Grace's I'm Diaz.
Hello. Sorry about your eardrums, y'all.
And today we're here to read you folks some SCPs.
Hell yeah. It is SCP night. Stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. I almost forgot it. I'm happy I didn't. Essentially, it is a website. Essentially, it is a website where you can go write up a story about either like a cryptid or some bizarre, creepy situation that either needs to be secure, contained, or protected from the world, or the world protected from it. You get it. But it's really, really fun. They have different classifications like safe, which is something that's safe. Euclid, which is something that's like not necessarily dangerous, but it's mainly because it doesn't have as much protocols behind keeping it contained. And then Keter. And Keter stuff is dangerous as fuck. And they're all fictional, we think. But they're all really well written. And sometimes they're hilarious. Sometimes they're scary. Sometimes they're heartwarming. I've done some really cute ones in the past that I really enjoyed.
Are you doing cute ones today too?
I don't think so. I might have one cute one. And then I have one like weird one that I'm excited to get to.
All right.
So I actually haven't read mine for the first time in a while.
I think I have one. It's not cute. It is like one of those things that are cute but horrifying at the same time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like you. So perfect.
Thanks.
That said, if you have a suggestion for an SCP, or if in the future on Pastatime you want us to read a creepypasta, you can always reach out to us by emailing pastatime@scaryish.com or going to scaryish.com, clicking on contact us, fill out that form, it comes directly to us, or hit us up on any of our social medias. We would love to hear from you that way as well. But yeah, if you also have a story of something that has happened to you, supernatural, spiritual, creepy, coincidental, true crime, extraterrestrial, you can hit us up by emailing storytime@scaryish.com. We have storytime episodes where we read those from listeners. We would love to hear from you in that way or any of the other aforementioned ways. So would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Why don't you go first? Yours says safe.
All right.
So I'm like, let's start with a safe one.
Okay, we'll start out. We'll lull people into a false sense of security. So I'm going to be covering first SCP-2800.
Sorry.
You good? Oh, I thought that was your knuckle. I was like, damn, that sounded bad.
It was my ring against the table, but your mom left her water up here. She's going to be missing it in 2 seconds.
She will be knocking on that door soon. So SCP-2800's object classification, as Robin has already stated, is safe. Sorry, y'all. Just trying to get centered here. Yeah, classification is safe. Special containment procedures for SCP-2800 is to be contained in a modified standard humanoid containment chamber that features a large sun lamp. 2800's hero syndrome is to be regularly monitored by psychologists. Whenever possible, 2800 is to be given menial tasks where it can assist others while under close supervision. It has been deemed by staff psychologists that allowing 2800 to assist in these tasks has significantly improved its morale and general disposition. Regular psychological counseling and monitoring for self-harm is recommended for 2800. 2800 has also been placed on suicide watch.
Is this a creature?
We're going to get to it. Description of 2800. 2800 is an anomalous male of Scottish descent, formerly known as Daniel McIntyre. Though when I saw this, I was like, this reminds me of Highlander, so I want to read this one. Formerly, and by the way, just in case you haven't heard, they're rebooting Highlander, and supposedly the last news that came out for casting is that Henry Cavill is going to play
He
the
would
fucking
be a
Highlander.
good one.
He's just so hot.
But
he's good with a sword too, man. Yeah. Anyways, so Daniel McIntyre, though, SCP-2800 refers to itself as Cactus Man, the Spiked Menace. 2800 measures 187 centimeters and
tall.
76 kilograms.
I don't know
and possesses brown hair and green eyes. SCP-2800 possesses an expanded genome that contains DNA from the saguaro cactus. 2800 also has anomalous characteristics that are consistent with the natural physical properties of Carnegie gigantea plant, more commonly known as the saguaro cactus. 2800 has demonstrated the following anomalous capacities. The anomalous capacity to instantly grow 2 to 3 centimeter spines from all surfaces of its body.
Hot.
The spines fall off naturally, though 2800 can also voluntarily detach these spines. The anomalous capacity to perform I'm going to skip that word. No, I won't. I'm going to try it. Crassulation, acid metabolism, photosynthesis. 2800 can open pores on its body to function in a similar manner to stomata. The anomalous capacity to use water in a hyper-efficient manner. 2800 can subsist on roughly 1/3 the amount of water needed for an average male of its height and build.
Cactus, man.
2800 produces roughly 1/5 the urea that a human of its height, build, and diet would normally produce.
That's what, pee?
I think so. It is currently hypothesized that 2800 is able to store waste such as ammonia in its body in a manner similar to other plants. 2800 is also capable of excreting waste through its pores, but describes this process as uncomfortable. Pooping through your pores does sound gross. The anomalous capacity to tolerate above average temperatures and above average aridity. 2800 possesses an extremely efficient cooling mechanism that prevents it from overheating easily. In addition, 2800 has demonstrated its ability to prevent its skin from drying out.
Because it's a cactus.
Because it's part cactus.
Imagine being able to excrete waste through your pores.
I'd rather have the spikes. I don't want to poop through my skin.
Imagine
I would like to
just
stick
smelling
people.
like shit everywhere you go.
I don't need to imagine that.
Ew. It's
just don't shower.
It's just like the idea disgusts me. Like you shake someone's hand, but you're at the same time excreting your waste from your pores.
I promise you, if I were Cactus Man, I would not excrete my waste on your hand, but I would stick you at least once, just so you knew what it was like.
Wow.
Just so you knew I was capable of doing it.
All right.
Gonna keep going. Empathetic connections with other members of the cacti family. Through testing, it has been demonstrated that 2800's metabolic rate increases significantly when it is communicating with cacti. Said cacti are noted to increase water and nutrient absorption from the soil they are planted in with 2800 when 2800 is communicating with them.
So he's just like, water for you,
yeah.
Water for you.
2800 has been able to communicate with SCP-3388 without a cell phone and SCP-2497 without the standard light code. We haven't touched those. We haven't touched on those ones.
That's why he needs a heat lamp, because he's a fucking cactus.
He needs to photosynthesize. All right. 2800 has been diagnosed with severe mental disorders, including dysthymia, which is chronic depression, and hero syndrome. 2800 expresses. Let me go ahead and slow down. 2800 expresses an extreme desire to assist others and intervene in situations, even if it is incapable of rendering any form of assistance in such situations. Which is funny because he calls himself the Spiked Menace, which almost sounds like a villain name.
He sounds like a Suicide Squad member.
Yeah, he does. 2800's inability to assist in many situations is believed to have been a cause of the dysthymia. 2800 has expressed frustration in many cases due to its self-perceived inability to provide useful function to others and has attempted self-harm in the past. 2800 was captured by the Foundation while the organization was attempting to track and contain a reality-bending SCP object that had breached containment. 2800 was found attempting to assault the escaped SCP object, although this proved largely ineffective. After the containment breach was resolved, the Foundation convinced 2800 to be contained. So they just talked him into coming with them.
He doesn't seem like he wants to fight people.
He seems like he wants to save things, which I think we can all relate to. 2800 has been provided a number of potted cacti after its request for them was approved by psychological staff on the grounds of improving 2800's morale. Further cross-testing of 2800 with other cactus anomalies, such as SCP-1277, 1478, and 822 has been proposed and is currently pending approval. Incident Report 2800-1. While searching surveillance camera footage in the places where SCP-2800 claimed to have lurked, surveillance camera footage from a late-night subway was found involving SCP-2800. The following is a transcript of the event. A woman and child are seen waiting at a subway station. A man with a It's a gun. A man wearing... It's not a gun.
It's the mask face thing.
How do you say it?
Balaclava?
Cool. A man wearing a balaclava is seen to appear from behind a support pillar and approach the pair while brandishing a knife.
It's a baklava.
I thought it said baklava at first. That's what threw me off. And I was like,
dessert.
God damn, isn't baklava good?
Hell yeah, it is.
The woman and child begin to back away, but are stopped by the wall behind them. The child clutches to the woman. The man gestures with the knife. The woman begins to open her purse. SCP-2800 enters into view behind the masked man. 2800 proceeds to walk up to the masked man and punch him in the lower back and chest. The man recoils in pain, and it is seen that 2800 has left several spines in the masked man's back.
Imagine having spines, right, on your hand, you punch someone
And they just stay
and
there.
it lodges into their spine
That
and you
hurt.
fucking paralyze that person.
Yeah, that's a bit far, but okay. 2800
2
proceeds to
inches,
tie
right?
the man's hands. That's a long ways. Yeah, it could hurt someone. The woman is seen to shake SCP-2800's hand vigorously and embrace him. SCP-2800 kneels on the ground. The child is seen to embrace 2800. 2800 appears to be emotional. The woman makes a call. The child is seen to pull out a piece of paper and write something on the paper. As 2800 begins to walk away, the child calls it back. The child hands 2800 the paper. 2800 writes something on the paper and hands it back to the child.
What was on it?
Shortly after, the police officers arrive on the scene.
Okay, what's on the paper?
No one will know. That's the end of Incident Report 2800-1 and SCP-2800's profile.
Cool.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's like Moist from
From Dr. Horrible Sing Along Blog.
Yes, it's like you have this really weird talent and you have no idea what to do with it, so you're just like, I
Poke
guess I can't
people.
really help anyone,
Just
but
gonna poke everyone.
all I need to do is poke some people.
That's
I
what
knew someone who
she
used to
said.
just say like, I just need a little poke every now and then.
What
That's
the
not what he
fuck?
meant. But anyways, that's Cactus Man. How do you say it? Cactus Man, the Spiked Menace. So
Nice.
hope you enjoyed that one. It's a good
Thanks.
one to start out the show.
Cool.
All right, let's go over into stream chat, see what you folks had to say to start it. It's a wonderful Wednesday evening. We're happy to be here with all of you.
I'm gonna crack this open.
I just
Crack
got out of
open
the
a cold
shower
one
like
'cause it is
3 minutes
freezing.
before we started. This thing is so
It's
freaking
cold.
cold.
That little fridge.
Did you
must
notice
be
the
like...
tab has a fucking lightning bolt on it?
Ooh.
So cool. It's a Mike's Harder lemonade. And there's the lightning bolt. Zap. Shout out to 911 Girl for
911
providing
girl
us
got
with
us
the drinks.
these drinks. Yeah.
They're big. They're big boys.
They're big boys. Little tall boys.
This is how big it is against my head.
Um.
Shout out to Pink Penguin 88,
I
who's
would
the
like
first person
to
in either channel.
Also say, I had a whole bottle of soju to myself yesterday, day before yesterday.
At Korean Barbecue
Yeah.
on Monday.
It was on Monday.
We were
Okay.
celebrating Robin getting her new position.
Yeah, I was not affected by it.
Well, you also just got done eating a fuck ton of Korean barbecue.
That's true.
And soju's not the same as vodka.
Vodka.
It's close. But yeah.
Yeah, it's 12%. I just saw that this is 8%, and it's about the same size, so I'm like, I'm not going to get fucked up. But who knows? Maybe I will.
When we recorded the most recent episode of Twats at Twats, and we recorded the Twatch Along, which is the Wheel of Time Watch Along, which is just a
Twatch-along.
genius name for it. I drank like 3/4 Fireball, 1/4 Angry Orchard. And by the time I got to the point where it was almost done, it was like pure Fireball.
Were you like,
I was just like, God, I'm like
but
fucking
you gotta,
buzzed.
you
I'm
gotta
not
do
going to
it.
finish this.
Live your best life.
You're really
Hello?
going to let in the cat?
What
It's
do you
the
want?
worst creature to be in the office. All she does is try and chew all the cords and cry. All right, Pink Penguin was the first person on the channel. Said, "Hey everyone, how's your night going?" Bunny Cakes was second. Said, "Hello."
That is now ASB Bunny. She changed her name.
Nice. Bunny Cakes is pretty good. Emily over there on Facebook says, "Hello, Spooky Fan." Maya over there on... Oh, no. Am I saying this right? Let's make sure.
Maya? I mean, it looks
I think
like
it's
it
Maya.
would be Maya.
If not, you let me know how I'm
Mia?
supposed to say it. Says, "Hello. Glitch is here. Jamie is also here. Donosaur is here. Latreia is here. Carly is
Did you
here."
ever get cat food?
Yes.
Okay.
Days ago. Carly says, "Hi, Spooky Friends. It's been a while." It has indeed, but thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Catherine over there on Facebook says, "Hey." Latreia says, "How's everyone's night going?" It's going pretty well. It's a very busy day of work, and I'm happy it's over, and it's just been a very busy day. Captain Vega says, "I'm done with my oral boards, but so behind on the rest of my life." It's really awesome that you're done with your oral boards, so congratulations to you. Raise a glass to freedom.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're finished with those, because now you can stop cramming, studying, you know.
Now we can all read book 4 together. All right, I'm going to give some shout outs to things that happened over there. So 6 hours ago, Angry Ant 007 followed us. Thank you for
Hello,
following us on
Angry
Twitch.
Ant.
Faye resubscribed for the 26th
Whoop, whoop.
month and said hello. Insert username T followed us 5 minutes ago. And on top of that, it looks like Lisbeth Tree, Captain Fake Eye, and Glitch have all redeemed a drink. So we're up to 3 for the show.
That's not too bad.
And that's what we have so far. So I'm going to take one of those drinks and see what this Mike's Harder lemonade is all about. It's not bad. It's not great. There's no way I could drink this whole thing. Mainly because it's like so citrusy. It'll burn a hole through my esophagus, but it's not bad. Faye says, "So I'm going to be doing work during the stream. No problem. I went
like
to
delivering
dinner."
babies during the stream.
Let's hope not that kind of work. I'm What's Near said hashtag team congrats, Robin. I think that's the team that they were battling with during the pregame.
I appreciate it.
Meat Mecca says, what's cracking? Just hanging out. Vet Tech Cat says, I can't figure out how to subscribe with my Prime account. You just have to go ahead and Google like Link, Amazon, and Twitch. It'll take you to an account where you just sign into both of them. They'll be linked after that. And then if you click subscribe and you scroll down, there should be a checkbox that says use my Prime subscription. I'm going to keep scrolling. Pink Penguin says they're making flashcards for a final tomorrow. Robin was up until like 4 a.m. last night making a cheat sheet for her second to last final.
I wasn't in bed until 5:30. 5:30 or 5:45.
Jesus Christ, so late.
Yeah, and then I had my exam at 10. So I tried to get as much sleep as possible, but I had to wake up at like 9. So I really only had like 3.5 hours of sleep. Worth it.
Donosaur, Sherry Sue, and Meat Mecca have all redeemed a drink. So we have redeemed all 6 of them. That's a lot. Get off your phone.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. I need to send them my vaccine card, and the website that they sent me will not work.
Well, it's not going to work when you're in the middle of doing a live stream.
I'm sorry. It literally says immediate action needed. That's why I was like, I don't know why this isn't working.
Do we need to take a break so that you can do it?
Take a break? I don't know how to fix it.
Okay, then let's focus up on the show. Neff Course here says, hello, everyone. Vet Cat says, need to listen to this week's Twats. It was pretty good. Had a good time with it. Glitch also posted a link to the Wheel of Time show about the Wheel of Time show, so we appreciate that.
I keep burping. This stuff is making me burp. I don't know why.
I mean, it's carbonated, that's why. Natalia over there on YouTube says, hello, what up? Thank you for joining us. Carly says, woefully behind. What are the congrats for? Congrats to Robin either way, but I'm lost and curious.
New job. I'm leaving my job that I've been at for almost 6 years. Oh my God.
Because
I got a new internship and I have to move.
Because
I just said.
You didn't. She's graduating.
Oh, I am graduating. Yeah, that too.
Yes. Yeah. So that's awesome. And it's like a professional internship. So it's more like a contract position, which is super cool. Sherry Sue says, woo, I love SCPs. I do too. 52DZ says, hi, I'm new here. Don't lie. You're one of the OGs and we all know
One of us.
Queen Effany says, congrats, Robin.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be over with school. I have one more final left and then I'll be out of here.
Elizabeth Tree says, holy shit, it's Wednesday, guys.
Yes, it is.
Honestly, like, it's been so crazy these first 2 days at work and in our personal lives trying to figure out the logistics of everything that's about to happen with our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, like last night, it was midnight and I was like, I should really go to bed. It just hit me like, oh, wait, tomorrow's Wednesday? Like, it feels like fucking Friday. So much has already happened. So it's just been so crazy. Suckafool says, good evening over there on YouTube. What up, Suckafool? Thank you for joining us. Someone said, hey, and it just marked as Facebook user. So let's go over to Facebook and it should tell us who that was. And we can give you a proper shout out. If it worked, which it didn't, let's get it to work.
Catherine Green, hello.
I think it's someone else because Catherine Green showed up earlier.
Oh, Mia.
Nope.
Maya.
It's
one. Like Maya. Yep, it is like Maya.
Okay, good. Good.
Giggity goo.
All right, so we got that one taken care of. Chloe over there on YouTube says, hey, Spooky fan, hope all is well. Things are going pretty good. Queen Effany says, water for me. I'm trying to get sober again. Good.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Good.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Enzo Matrix has redeemed a high five. I'll put my hand up and let Robin take care of it.
My arm's so weak.
I just hold my hand still and she just slaps it as hard as possible.
It's because it's a weird angle. It was like this and not like, I don't know. My arm hurts.
So we got ice water. We got Kill a Cupcake drinking tea.
Tea's
all right.
Good.
Sherry Sue says she's drinking water as well. Faye is also drinking water. Glitch says, Zinfandel, the pink made it sound weird. I'm sorry. That's funny.
Because he said some pink tasty.
That did sound very, very weird.
Never seen so many tasties in my life.
I hate you so much. Lizardtree says, I might pour myself a small glass of wine, but I'm ready. I'm already in bed, so I'm not sure I'll be awake long enough to get it. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
All right.
Carly says 19 crimes because I finally have a day off tomorrow. 19 crimes.
Don't get it.
Don't get
Might
it.
be part of a conversation that I kind of skipped over since I'm glossing over stuff. Laura Ann has arrived as well. What up, Laura Ann? Thank you for joining us. Red Keto is also here.
Aw, I was says drinking hot tea with honey, hoping it helps with a sore throat.
Nice.
Nice tips. Don't forget some lemon in there too.
Indeed. Glitch says, y'all, the 4-year episode was amazing. Adam and Robin, thanks so much for the kind words, but everything I do is for all the amazing people we have and the amazing hosts we have. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's funny because, like, thinking of it from a perspective of, like, just being a producer of it, or the content creator, as soon as we were done with it, I was like, it's probably going to suck. And then I edited it, and I was like, it's not bad. I think it was actually kind of funny. And then immediately after releasing it, I was like, our numbers are going to take a hit. Like, it's not scary-ish content. So it's like, for the week, the numbers will take a hit. And I'm like, it doesn't really matter if the numbers take a hit. It's what I kind of wanted to do. It is nice to just sit down and talk sometimes for content. But either way, it was really fun to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.
911 Girl says, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Chloe, over on whatever service. Is it
It's Twitch.
For following us. Sorry, I can't see things from over here. I'm looking like...
You have a projector, but it only pops up in that tiny little spot. So it's really, really hard for it to be read. All right, let's keep scrolling. Laura Ann says, I could go for some tea. I really wish I had regular tea right now, to be honest with you, but... I think you guys kind of expect us to have an alcoholic beverage, so we just do that.
A beverage.
Carly says, we just got the go-ahead to start wearing earbuds at work. When I tell y'all I have quite the Scaryish backlog, I'm going to get to fill 40-plus hours a week with. Nice. That is pretty awesome. Going to keep scrolling. Pink Penguin says they just bought some Christmas mugs. Time to fill them with tea. Scrolling. Robin's back on her phone.
Sorry.
Radio Man 33 says, good evening, Robin and Adam and everyone.
I'm just going to submit a support ticket.
Some talk about sunburn, stuff like that. It's winter for our hemisphere.
They bathed in Earl Grey tea because it's good for a sunburn, apparently.
I've never heard that before. Shout out to Chloe, who just subscribed for the first month. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. You are amazing. Latreia said, congratulations to Robin.
Thank you.
Bunny also said congratulations to Robin. Faye, Glitch posted a link to
that is the longest freaking website name, dog.
What, the Wheel of Time?
The Wheel of Time show about the Wheel of Time show.
It's hilarious though.
What?
Why does it say search results for 09 nothing found?
I don't know. That's your website.
I didn't put the link in there, dog. That's your website. Always dumping bullshit off on me. Thanks. She did that earlier in a different conversation too. She linked someone to a page that doesn't exist. When they said it doesn't exist, like, oh, that's Adam's problem. I was like, I haven't written it yet. I'm sorry. I'm not going to write it for this particular situation. All right. It's going to keep scrolling. Sherry C says, I made my lunch and shower before the stream. I want to go celebrate this weekend because I'm finally getting my new BiPAP in a week. That is pretty awesome. My listener says, looking forward to seeing how ballsy Adam gets when Robin can't pinch his nipples, when he gets mouthy. She doesn't really pinch my nipples on stream, which I am thankful for.
I don't pinch nipples. I rub them.
I just don't want it to be a situation where I'm reading a story and like waiting for Robin to interact, and she's just like on her phone reading like manga or manhwa. That'll really stink. I'm going to keep scrolling. Carly says, wait, are they doing a Wheel of Time episode discussion or something? Yeah, I have a show called The Wheel of Time Show about the Wheel of Time show that I started with my friend Garrett, and Faye is on it as well, who is known as Captain Fake Eye in the chat. So it's going to be the after show for each episode of Wheel of Time, and then we do have a few intro episodes where we discuss the content we're going to be creating. And then when the season's over, which it's 3 episodes away from being over, we'll probably do a like end of season recap episode, which I am really excited to do because I have many things to say. Abigail over there on YouTube says, hello, how are you doing? We're doing pretty well over here. Thank you for asking. Faye posted twats@twats.com, which is way better. Glitch, I don't know what this Wheel of Time show about the Wheel of Time show.com /S=09 link is, but I don't think it's the right link to whatever you're trying to send because it's taking people to a link that's it doesn't exist. So just go with twats@twats.com. Carly says, A, Robin is a badass. B, Wheel of Time after show discussion. Yes. Gonna keep scrolling. Bunny says, damn, I miss all you guys during the week. We miss all you guys too. Faye says, Robin, now that you're doing this internship, are you leaving Adam so I can date you?
No. Wait, Faye? Maybe.
Wow. Fucked up. So many betrayals happening all at once.
911
girl says drinking Diet Coke with my Spam, eggs, and rice.
Yo, Spam, eggs, and rice is like...
If that Diet Coke was a Coke Zero, that sounds like a perfect meal. Shout out to Glitch, who just donated $10 and says, I mean, this goal slaps. I need it to happen. We're at $27, and now take a second to discuss the goal for the month. If we get to $200 reduce for the month of December, we're going to have what is essentially like a little video game Olympics between me and Robin. And for every $50 above the goal we get, we're going to add in a different contestant. And it'll probably be chosen at random from people who apply. I will post the games that we're going to play to see if you have them. Then you can decide whether or not you would like to apply. But that is only if we get to $250. And for each $50 after that, we would add in someone else, which would be live on stream, which would be super fun. So if you want to donate to that, we would love to see it. Carly states that she's having 19 Crimes wine.
Oh, I have heard of that. We've had that before.
I remember we saw it. I don't remember we drank it.
Yeah, but I didn't put two and two together because we don't drink that very often.
Gotcha.
So it's something that it's the one that has all the criminals on the front.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I don't remember drinking it. I Am Beef Trainer says, hey all, I'm late getting on here. Drinks tonight are water, juice, ginger ale, and Gatorade. Been kind of out of sorts as I had cameras shoved in me on Monday. That does not sound comfortable.
Oh, but it was like a medical procedure.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it wasn't for recreation. Like, hey, let me try out this GoPro and see if it's really as good as they say.
Let's try out this GoPro.
Sherry Sue says, I'm still trying to read/listen to the First Wheel of Time book, so I'm behind watching the show and listening to the new pod. If you think you're going to read the book/listen to the book and then watch the show, they are so drastically different, which is part of what I talk about and complain about the most on the show, is that it's like night and day. It's almost a completely different property that if you want to just read or watch the show and then in the off season, like read the first book, I'd probably recommend that instead, because the show is just like wildly different. All right, I'm going to keep scrolling.
Scrolling.
Sherry Sousa's work has been very draining. Bunny Cake says, you never have to drink because of us, Adam. I know. If I wanted tea or if I wanted water enough, I would have just gotten that instead. I do appreciate you saying that, though.
You will fucking drink because I tell you to.
Elizabeth Tree says, I've been so swamped. It's kind of funny because I read something today about like what like a sociopath does to their significant others. And I was reading, I'm like, Robin does that. Robin does that. Robin does that. Robin does that. I do that. I do that. I do that. This could be unhealthy. Like I scrolled away from it because some of them weren't like crazy. Some of them were like manipulates you into thinking you have a mental disorder. I was like, we don't do that. And then I'd scroll to the next thing and it's like guilt trips you if you don't like cuddle them in bed. And I was like, Robin does that.
You do that.
I don't do that.
Bitch,
I get lonely.
Even.
I've been lonely one time recently. I don't guilt trip you if you don't cuddle me.
Last night you were like,
this is horseshit. It only happened
like
last night. She's usually all up on my side, and I'm like, give me some fucking space, lady. All right. IMB Trainer just cheered 100 bits. What do you mean I left you the other night? You shoved me off the bed, and I was like, I'm done with this shit. You won the bed. Congratulations.
It's because the dog took up half the bed.
Yeah. We have a dog that's this big, okay?
No.
Queen bed.
She is 40 pounds. She is not small.
Doesn't matter. She's 40 pounds. She doesn't take up as much space where you need half the bed and she needs the other half. I wound up in the guest room. Just saying.
That's fine.
All right. Gonna keep scrolling.
Jamie says, Robin, what's your favorite Ghibli movie? Let me send you some grad masks. Oh, that'd be so sweet.
She was just talking about ordering more masks.
I wanted to order more, actually, from your Etsy. But my favorite's probably, my all-time favorite is Kiki's Delivery Service. I love that one. I love Gigi so much. And then Ponyo. I like Kiki and Ponyo. Those are both really good. I don't know what your favorites are. I know you've only really watched Spirited Away and the one with the Princess Mononoke.
And then the other one where
we watched Ponyo 2 together, I think.
No, we have not watched Ponyo. That's your
Totoro?
other,
have you seen
your other
Totoro?
boyfriend. Nope, no Totoro for me either.
Shit.
The one where it's the guy who designs planes. I forget the name of it.
God,
the
something
wind,
about the
something
wind.
or other.
Yeah.
And there's one other one I've watched that I can never remember. But yeah, Princess Mononoke is my favorite. So that's it. I haven't seen all of them. So Pink Penguin says, I'm still going through your guys' backlog and I listen to Scaryish before the store opens. I go through 2.5 episodes, like 4 days a week.
Whoop,
nice.
That's the sound of the police.
IMB Turner says, by the way, congrats to Robin on graduating and her internship. Neither of those are small feats.
Thank you. Right now, it's a feat to try and get my vaccine card submitted so that I can actually start work. But that's like what's going through my head. I'm like panicking, like, fuck. But I have up until a week before I start, so.
Indeed. Indubitably. I'm just checking
nice.
to make sure this new link works. Cool.
No,
Faye says, wait, can you? I'm pretty sure that's in reaction to leaving me. Or not. Unless it was something else.
All right. Yeah, I actually do want to start watching Wheel of Time because it looks good. At least the parts that I've jumped in on watching. And listening to you guys talk about it, I want to know what you guys are talking about.
I want to hear it from a perspective of someone who's not read the books that also can identify trash television very easily.
I watch trash television, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I was watching Below Deck Med the other day, so.
It's like you sit down for one episode, and then you're like six episodes in,
so
you're like,
stupid.
oh my God, what is she going to say next?
Pink Penguin says, my significant other is keeping me from watching the show so we can binge the season. It's just like appointment viewing is so hard to do nowadays, but once you get back on it, it's really fun to do. Carly says, okay, so the show and the books are different, but I seriously feel that age aside, they nailed the actors and the scenery. I love almost all the casting, and I really like the scenery. As far as story goes, I think they really butchered episode 1. They really fucked a lot of stuff up, and they're paying for it in the season as they try and develop story as it goes along. It's not as bad as it feels for me, but it does feel pretty bad sometimes.
Enzo Matrix says, Adam, have you read Ender's Game or watched the movie? Would you compare Wheel of Time that way?
I've watched the movie. I've not read the books.
I think that I've never watched Wheel of Time, but I think the movie, Ender's Game movie, did really well. I think you don't like Wheel of Time as much because they've changed so
Well, they
much.
added in stuff, too, where it's like, the biggest excuse people make is like, oh, they have to take so much out because there's just so much.
But they
and it's
have
like,
to.
But you're adding in bullshit that sucks when you could have just left in the good stuff. And that's the thing that pisses me off the most is like, if you're going to make the excuse, things need to be taken out to expedite it. Okay, cool. I get that. Stop pumping it full of bullshit. It would be like if you got a milkshake and you're super excited to drink this milkshake and you looked at it and you thought, man, this is too big. I'm going to have to throw some of this away. And someone came up to you and they said, here, I'm going to make it so you can drink that whole milkshake. And they scooped out half of it and then they shit in the other half. That's how I feel. Where it's like, and then everyone else around you and you're like, did you just shit in my milkshake? And everyone else around you is like, well, they had to make room for your tummy. And you're like, yeah, but now I have to drink the shit too. It's mixed in with my milkshake. And they're like, well, they just needed to make space. It's like, fuck off. Like, that's how I feel. They shit in my milkshake. Shout out to 911 Girl donating
Captain
100
Fake Eye
bits.
says the Ender's Game movie was a travesty. I liked it.
She doesn't want to date you anymore.
I
For liking Ender's Game.
It. I really enjoyed Ender's Game. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Someone make a what is it called? Like a Drizzt movie. If they could make the R.A. Salvatore series.
Oh man, can you imagine how pissed off the nerd would be if they didn't do it right?
Holy shit. That'd
Faye
be
says
great,
to
though.
Lizardtree in regards to it. Lizardtree says I walked out. It was terrible. Faye says I didn't because I've never walked out on a movie, but I considered it. LOL.
Let's see.
The Wind Rises. Thank you, Pink Penguin. That is the other one. Glitch says, wait. Who makes Studio Ghibli masks? Give me a link. I will buy right now.
Jang Mi makes amazing masks.
They're really good masks.
They fit Adam's face. They're like the only ones that fit his face. And so I've bought maybe 10 so far.
I will say I have to take the little things, like you can adjust them with like a little rubber tab on it. So you can adjust
he
like
rips
from
those
bigger.
off,
I
so
take
I
them
can never
off for
use
my
them.
giant face. But like they fit like between my mom's tiny pea-size head and my gigantic head and everywhere in between. So I'm kidding. My mom doesn't have pea-size head. I love you, Mom. Don't kill me.
I freaking love those masks. They're well made. The quality is well made. I literally use them at work every single day. So her store or her Instagram is called Ungodly Goods. So if you want to check her out on Instagram, do that. She makes a lot of other stuff, purses, scrunchies, things like that.
She's very talented.
Take a gander.
Faye says, but I would say that Wheel of Time, the show, is still enjoyable despite being different. I do think that. I think if it was the first time I'd ever watch Wheel of Time, I'd be like, oh, damn, the show is dark. And then if I found out some of the stuff that's different from the books, I'd be like, oh, wow, that's kind of dumb. It's just like Captain Fake. I'm going to try not get too far down Wheel of Time here. But Faye always mentions the Bechdel test. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. But it's a test where if there is 2 female characters on screen or on a page having a conversation,
they can't talk about a dude.
Can't talk about a dude. And it passes it with flying colors constantly. And for a book series that was very much about that, and for a TV series that tries to highlight that, they started out the show by adding in a woman, not letting her speak, killing her off to give a man motivation, and fridging characters is one of my least favorite tropes that exists, because I think it shows just a massive amount of sexism on the writer's part and the showrunner's part, and an inability to tell a half-assed decent story.
Imagine being that actress, though.
Seriously. Oh, I got cast in Wheel of Time. Who are you? Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter. Won't be around long. So when that got added in, that really started things off poorly for me.
Sherry Sue says No Time to Die was really good.
Is that a Ghibli movie?
It's 007.
I know,
freaking
I'm joking.
love 007. I grew up watching 007. My dad is a huge fan of 007, so I really want to go see that one of these days. Curse Wolf resubscribed with Prime.
For the 36th month,
for 3
years, and said, "Ow."
Oh. Chloe said, Maya says, I was Kiki for Halloween.
Nice.
Cute. Chloe says, Adam, are you talking about Castle in the Sky? That's one of my favorite Ghibli movies. He's never seen Castle in the Sky. You've probably seen Howl's Moving Castle. That's the one with Sophie. No fucking Jesus.
I've seen The Wind Rises, Princess Mononoke, and the other one we said already that I can't remember again.
Are you sure it's not Ponyo?
Yeah, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke,
Ponyo's the gold.
The Wind Rises. That's it.
Oh my god.
And the one at the Studio Ghibli Museum that none of you have seen. So suck it.
Oh, the little short about the little bug.
Goddamn right.
It's a caterpillar, I think, actually.
Carly says, I want to talk about Wheel of Time with y'all.
Tune in to Twats.
Yeah, and Carly's saying one of the main things, they didn't spend as much time on Rand and his dad's travel after the Trollocs, in my opinion. They expedited over it entirely, and it is essential to Rand's character for 14 fucking books.
Oh my gosh.
It drove me nuts. Gonna move on to the next
this
comments.
Is like, there's so many
I will turn this show into twats so fucking fast.
All right.
I have to try and not get too attached to it.
Emma over on YouTube says, hi, Spooky Friends. It's been a while since Cat Beatrix and I have been able to pop in.
What up?
Hello. Cat says, hi, guys. Hello. Jangmi says, I've actually made the ear loops longer since the ones you bought. Thank you all for all the support you guys give. Absolutely, because we love them, and freaking your masks are like... And we use so many. They are
legitimately the best masks.
Yeah.
Every time I go out, I constantly get compliments on my mask because I'm always wearing the Marauders mask. Marauders map mask.
I gave the Grogu one to
my dad.
His dad.
He was so happy.
That's one of his favorite things in the entire world. Like the actual character, Baby Yoda character, is his favorite thing. And he's just like, this is the best thing ever. This is like, I love this. Everyone else is always like, oh my God, I love your mask. I'm like, yeah, it's the best. So kudos to you. You make the best shit.
You really do.
All right, I'm going to read my first SCP of the night.
Emma says, from Cat, hi guys. Well, I'm saying it again. Suck it. I'm going to mark it.
All right, so the next SCP we're going to read here is...
Did you do your 6 drinks?
Yes, I did.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Oh, shit. I got to catch up. Go ahead.
Fucking bitch. All right.
I marked it.
Fucking Jesus.
Ow! You're not supposed to do that on air. I left that joke in about us having sex at 4 a.m.
No, you did not.
I 100% did. Because you said it over me making a statement that I couldn't take out, so I couldn't take my joke out because it was also funny. There, I've marked it.
You left? Oh God, fucking damn it. All right, so the next SCP I'm going to talk about, or read actually to you guys, is SCP-426. Are you making a bunch of lip noises over there?
Yeah, because it was gross. Read your shit, dog. You make lip noises and your phone noises the entire time I'm reading.
All right, so the first SCP I'm going to read tonight is SCP-426. It is Object Class Euclid, so it's not necessarily safe, but I thought this one was really interesting. So this one is actually read from a first person point of view. It's like it's talking about itself. So
that's awesome.
Under special containment procedures, it says, I am to be sealed in a chamber with no windows through which I may be viewed. The door to my chamber must have a label completely unrelated to my designation or identity in order to prevent unintended spread of my primary effect. Only level 3 and above personnel are to know of my presence and particularly of my properties. Assigned personnel are to be rotated out on a monthly basis to prevent contamination by my secondary effect. So psychiatric evaluation is mandatory at the end of the month. If personnel are deemed unaffected, they may be reassigned to me no less than 4 months after their last rotation with me. Any affected personnel are to be given a Class C amnestic, whatever, stuff to make them forget. Probably.
Amnesic?
No.
Amnesiac.
Nope. And transferred to a different site. And so description, right? I love this because it's so cute, but it's so weird. All right. It goes, hello, I'm SCP-426. I must be introduced this way in order to prevent ambiguity.
Amnesiastic?
I am an ordinary toaster able to toast bread when supplied with electricity. However, when any human being mentions me, they inadvertently refer to me in the first person. Despite all attempts, there is yet to be a way to speak or write about me in the third person. When, in my continuous presence for over 2 months, individuals begin to identify themselves as a toaster. Unless forcibly restrained, these people will ultimately harm themselves in their attempts to emulate my standard functions. Probably like toast bread.
I figured, yeah.
Shit. I'm thinking now, like, whoever wrote this has already been taken over by the toaster.
That's what I would do? I would set my hands on fire and hold a piece of toast between both of my hands. That's how I would hurt myself to emulate being a toaster. Please don't do that.
I was discovered in the home of the redacted family after a gruesome deaths of 3 of its members.
Oh my God.
I had been given to the younger Mr. and Mrs. Redacted as a wedding gift. No card or any other identifying markings had been found on my box. Approximately 2 months after the family received me, fire crews were dispatched to the home due to an electrical fire. The younger Mrs. Redacted died from the electric discharge that she had caused when attempting to devour an electric socket. So she probably put her fucking mouth on it. The other 2 victims had died shortly before the fire occurred. The elder Mrs. Redacted had gorged herself with nearly 10 kilograms of bread before her stomach burst, and she died of internal bleeding.
Jesus.
1 kilogram is 2.205 pounds. The younger Mr. Redacted died of severe blood loss after attempting redacted with
gross.
Ew! The sole survivor was the elder Mr. Redacted, who was suffering from severe malnutrition. He stated that he had inserted some bread a week prior and was still waiting for the toast to pop out. Oh my God. I was confiscated by the Foundation after police noted my unusual properties. A Class C amnestic, whatever, was administered to the affected officers. All right, so there have been experiments that have been done on SCP-426. So someone was asked to describe what he believed was contained in the chamber. He was not informed about the identity or properties. So this guy said, I'm probably some huge monster holed up in there. That's what you guys have all over the place, right? And this person remained oblivious to his use of the first person pronoun.
Interesting.
So it still affected him.
So it said, I'm probably some huge monster.
Yep. And the next experiment, so the person was placed in my chamber and given regular meals throughout the dispenser. No communication with the person was permitted. Multiple cameras were situated in the chamber, positioned so that I was outside of their field of vision, but allowing constant observation of that person. We remained sealed until my secondary effect manifested in the subject. I was bolted to the floor so that I could not be moved into a camera's view. After 45 days of isolation, that person wrapped his arm around me and began conversing with me, stating that we were brothers. The person never deviated from using the first person plural when speaking with me. Subject was terminated 1 hour after this event.
Jesus.
It is theorized that the isolation accelerated the progression of my secondary effect. And then this next one says, a screw was removed from me and shown to this person who was experimented on, who was asked to describe it. The person was not informed about my identity or properties. This person referred to it as my screw. Consistent with experiment 4261, which is the first one, the subject was oblivious to his use of the first person in his description. This suggests that even if I were destroyed, my effects would still be inherent in my remains. And then the last one on here says, the person who was experimented on was placed in isolation in a cell adjacent to my chamber to be observed until my secondary effect manifests. No effects appeared. And that person was terminated 90 days after the start of the experiment. Thank God there are some limits to my effects. A lot of us were really starting to get worried about me. Dr. Redacted.
One of the doctors observing it that's how he wrote it.
Shit.
That's funny.
I just thought
Horrifying.
that one was both cute and horrifying at the same time.
I think that's how my second one's going to be. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff. Cool, I really did enjoy that one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I mean, fucking a toaster that kind of just...
I just love the property of you speak of it in the first person. It's very original.
Well, it becomes you.
Well,
you
yeah. Well,
the
you think you become convinced you're it because immediately you start speaking of the toaster, even though you think you're referring to it as a different object as yourself.
Imagine if someone gave you something and you're like, oh, this is my screw.
Yeah,
like,
that's weird.
What? No, that's fucking weird. But yeah, that's a pretty good one. I like that one. 426.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out to USCP Foundation. Good shit. All right. We're at 2. Let's look over in the stream chat and see what you folks were saying. Faye mentioned this as soon as we started reading, or maybe right before that. Oh, actually, no. Read this one first. Marley and Mama G.
Aw, Marley and Mama G says, I love you so much. We love you. And we can't wait to see you guys sometime soon, hopefully.
5 drinks. Faye says, LOL, my entire part in Twats of Twats is thirsting after all the characters and being a raging feminist at the same time.
That's my favorite segment is Who's Hot on Twat.
Who's Hot on Twat's a really good segment.
Yeah.
And also, there's just some really good actors and actresses on the show, and they just eat this shit up. So that's why I'm like, give them better material that exists within the book to use.
Jang Mi, it says, hi, it's Brandon. Jang Mi is busy right now, but I've got you the link to her store.
Nice.
Which is etsy.com/shop/ungodlygoods.us. Nice.
Sherry Sue says, this weekend, I want to see the new West Side Story. I heard it was really good, actually. A lot of the reviews I read stated that it was really good.
We will be at Anime Pasadena Saturday, Sunday. So if you folks are into anime or whatnot, we'll be there selling our shit. We've got pins. We've got prints. We've got stickers.
We sure do. We're also moving some shit out to the room we'll be renting for January.
I'm excited.
January through June, and then...
Gonna take my giant comforter.
Who knows what's going to happen after that. Glitch says, I am the brave addicted toaster. Redacted toaster. Sorry. Chunk says, late, but I'm here. Working late tonight. Boop, boop. What up? Faye says, 10 kilograms of bread.
Because I'm I think 1 kilogram is 2.205 pounds. So that's like 22 pounds of bread.
Yep,
that's
move the decimal one spot.
A lot of fucking bread.
Carly says, darkest toaster story ever. And the brave little toaster was pretty dark.
I love the Brave Little Toaster. Have you seen it?
I feel like I have it. It was a long ass time ago.
It's a really old cartoon, but there's the toaster, and then they go on. There's a lamp, there's a vacuum, there's a blanket, and they're all they get thrown into the landfill. But I think it's on accident.
I do remember them being thrown in the landfill. I have no idea what happens after that.
So it's an adventure to get back to the family.
It's just a brave little toaster.
It's like Homeward Bound, except for
home appliances.
Yeah.
Jamie says to Glitch, I haven't done custom prints yet, but I am down to give it a shot. Let me do some research and I'll let you know.
Nice.
Chunk says, I'll be a ghost listener for now. You don't see me, but I can hear you.
That's terrifying.
And they use the Robin laughing emoji.
Brian says,
do we have our
resident question of the week asker here? I don't think
No,
so.
She actually last time she showed up, it was in Twitch, so faces the dark little toaster. Pink Penguin says to Jang Mi, you might already know this, but have you tried spoon flour for custom fabric?
Ooh.
Carly says Matrim is easily the hottest Watt character, and now I'll stop with Watt talk, I swear. If you love Matt, you will hate the show.
Oh no.
If
Matt's
you love
the one with
Perrin, you will hate
Perrin's
the show.
the one with the wife, right?
Yes.
Okay. Not in the book.
Okay, Carly, answer me this. Have you watched the show yet? Emma says, oh no, Pasadena this weekend. Litchi says, Robin, did you get the ornaments?
I have not gone to the post office yet, so I gotta go check it out. If the tracking number says they are there, then I will definitely go tomorrow to pick them up. Emma says, oh no, Pasadena this weekend. Kat has finals and I fly out for a job interview. We'll have to catch you guys next time. We'll be there next time.
You might be spending a lot of time in California.
Because we have ALA in January. So
then one girl says, going back to work. Good night.
Good night. Have a good shift. ALA is 4 days. It's 4 days long. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you have all weekend to see us in January.
Okay, Carly says, I'm all caught up on the show. All right, so just answer me, riddle me this. When it comes to Matt, how different is this super dark depicted version of Matt's like garbage family and his garbage origins, and he's a thief, and he is just super depressing versus how he was written in the book, because it bothers me so much. You have stolen the mouse and then picked up your phone, so I'm wondering why
I
you stole
clicked
the mouse.
out of my webpage.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move over to Twitch and run the ad. If you are on Twitch and you are not a subscriber, you will get a 60-second ad. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, this ad will not appear. However, it'll help me put an ad later on. So, yeah, we're going to do that right now. A nice little piece of silence that will be detectable, so I can go ahead and put our ad there. Good stuff. Not going to read anything additional while we're in the ad break spot, because I want to make sure that once we come back, we can talk about stuff that people are trying to talk with us about.
Cool.
I'm also going to check and make sure that we're not missing out on messages, which it looks like we're doing okay. So fun stuff. I will say I am so friggin' tired right now. I forgot that I barely slept last night.
Let's run an ad.
We're running the ad.
Oh, are we
We're
now?
in the middle of the ad.
Oh, shit. Justin donated $10 dues.
I already said
Oh, you
thanks.
did? Fuck. Sorry. My bad, dog.
26 minutes ago.
You know what? You read that message over again, and now I'm reading a message over again. Why don't you just eat bananas? Holy fuck. That was loud.
Man, I can't wait to not live here. All right. I think we're about to be back from the commercial break, unless we're already back from the commercial break.
Hello. Welcome back from the commercial break.
Now we got 4 seconds left. 2, 3, 1. That's how that number goes. Anyways, Pink Penguin says, this is like a million years ago. This is to Jamie. This is like a million years ago, but I was able to make custom Kiki's delivery service fabric. A little pricey, but I was happy with it. Carly says, he's only dark because of the damn Shadowtown place. He was dark in the first episode. His dad was like this whoremonger. His mom like told him he was a shit person. And like he was stealing from people. It has nothing to do with his actual character. And like you said, he was only dark in the books because of what he went through in that spot. She says, I mean, he's all sad with his sad family story. That's whatever. But once the shadow stuff is done, it'll be like, I hope. I'm just wondering if they're actually going to restore his character to what it should have been, rather than like, he was just like kind of the poorest character in the show, but he never had that be like his identifier throughout like everything he did. And he was also lucky to start. So, okay, I'll stop talking about it. I don't want to spoil anything. Brian over there on YouTube says, I am so sad I lost a Scaryish pin at work. It fell and I didn't catch it. It was the white sparkly skull. Now I'll have to replace it when I get the Shiba pins.
When you order the Shiba pins, don't order the white one, and just put a note in there, and I'll
She'll take care
hook
of
you
it.
up with that.
Carly,
all right.
Carly says, I feel like I have differing opinion bones to pick with Adam on this. Oh, no.
Listen to the podcast.
He was always like a rascally character. I think the stealing fits. He was rascally. He played pranks. He wasn't stealing because he was destitute. And I hate that they made his character so dark. He's not happy or funny. Like Rand's funnier than him in this show. He's just completely different for this show, and I sincerely hate it.
All right, we got to move on.
We don't have to move on, but you want me to move on because you don't like the
it's
content I'm
7:30
producing.
because we have 2 more stories that are really long.
Okay, cool. But you just don't like it because I'm having fun talking about twats. Moving on. Just go back on your phone, jeez.
No,
You looked at it first.
the people emailed me and said I have to delete the first invitation, and the company will send me a new one.
So Harley says tomato. It's not tomato. It's completely different. All right, marking it. I'm going to move on to my next one. All right, so my next SCP is SCP-1609, and it is an object class of Euclid. The special containment procedures are as follows. 1609 is contained at storage site 08 due to the difficulty of transporting it from that location.
All right.
1609 is to be contained in a specially designed enclosure at that site within a flower bed in which a range of aesthetically pleasing flowers and plants are to be cultivated.
Is it a Pokemon?
It is to be used as mulch
Oh.
within this flower bed.
Weird.
The flower bed is to be tended regularly, and all visitors to the enclosure must remark on the beauty of the flower bed with particular emphasis on the quality of the mulch.
Have you ever gone to a garden where you're like, that mulch, that does it. That's what makes the flowers gorgeous.
Every time. 1609 is to be removed from the flower bed at regular intervals so that it can be treated with wood, metal, and fabric preservatives. Personnel are to announce their intentions in the presence of 1609 before attempting to remove it for this purpose.
Okay.
Personnel assigned to 1609 are required to wear plain clothes in order to prevent accidentally triggering a violent response from 1609. No items with motors are allowed within a 200-meter radius of 1609's containment area. No personnel either presently or previously affiliated with the Global Occult Coalition, nor material referencing them, are to be allowed within Storage Site 08.
You can suck my gack.
Wow. In the event of a violent reaction from SCP-1609, all personnel are to exit the immediate vicinity and a message is to be played over the site's interior speakers informing the site staff of the event. Should 1609 be sighted outside its containment area following a violent reaction, staff are to act in a submissive, non-threatening manner. Formal clothing, such as jackets, lab coats, protective clothing, jumpsuits, and particularly body armor, are to be removed, if possible, in the case of such an event, and any weapons capable of damaging 1609 are to be immediately discarded. Staff are to ask 1609 to return to containment without attempting to threaten or command it.
It's like, hey, buddy, you want to go back there?
You can't threaten this thing, apparently.
Yeah.
Should 1609 exit Storage Site 08, agents are to be immediately dispatched in order to scan the surrounding area for 1609 and, if possible, retrieve it. At present, there exists no way to totally prevent 1609 from breaching containment. Current containment procedures center on encouraging 1609 to remain within its containment area. So it really sounds like this thing is formidable. It just does what it wants, so you have to encourage it to stay where it's safe.
It looks like you have to go out of your way to be like, hey, you're great, you're awesome, you like it here, right? You don't want to leave, like, just stay put.
Yeah. All right, description. 1609 is, at the present time, a pile of splinters, wood chippings, furniture nails, and scraps of bleached leather and fabric weighing in total approximately redacted kilograms. The wooden portions of SCP-1609 are made of oak, and the nails are made of steel. 1609 is capable of teleportation, being capable of moving its entire mass instantaneously between 2 points without any known limit. 1609 usually uses this to bring its constituent parts together when parts of 1609 have been removed from the mass. But SCP-1609 can teleport its entire mass at once on at least one occasion at a distance of blank kilometers.
I'm sure it's a terrifying number.
1609 is capable of splitting its mass, though it does this rarely. Any amount of material removed from 1609's mass continues to display 1609's properties. 1609 has resisted all attempts to remove it from the confines of Storage Site 08, teleporting back to the site of its own accord. However, it has previously teleported out of Storage Site 08 for brief periods before returning, although this has only happened on blank occasions since its arrival in Foundation custody. 1609 appears to be in some way sentient, as research indicates it is able to perceive its environment in a manner that is currently poorly understood, and is able to react to stimuli in an intelligent fashion. Details of 1609's behavior are poorly understood, although it has been ascertained that it will react in self-preservation.
So if you try to set it on fire, it will murder you.
If you try to hurt it in any way or threaten it, it will react, and will react aggressively to certain stimuli which it connects with a threat to its existence. That's the reason you have to get rid of your armor and guns. Aside from this, 1609 appears to prefer situations in which it is utilized by humans and will actively seek out situations where it can be put to use if it is left idle.
So it wants to be mulch for flowers.
This is the reason for the Foundation's present use for 1609 as mulch, as this prevents 1609 from becoming idle and attempting to leave Storage Site 08.
Because it'll always be like
providing
eaten by
nutrients.
The flowers, yeah.
It is theorized that 1609 is capable of understanding human speech or thought, although this cannot be determined as it does not comply with tests designed to gauge its awareness of such stimuli. When exposed to a number of specific stimuli, 1609 will react violently. During a typical violent reaction from 1609, it will teleport a portion of its mass inside the lungs of nearby personnel, causing immediate and severe lacerations.
Laceration?
Thanks. I was totally going to do that.
I don't know where you are in your script. I just assumed.
Lacerations to the interior of the lungs, as well as pulmonary obstruction, which rapidly leads to the victim's death.
What?
Stimuli which can instigate a violent reaction from 1609 include personnel wearing the uniform of or clothes similar to the uniform of personnel affiliated with the Global Occult Coalition, or GOC as Robin called it.
Yeah.
Utterance of the words or phrases used heavily or exclusively by GOC operatives such as threat entity while in contact with 1609, any action demonstrating hostility towards 1609, and the sound of a running motor. Violent responses from 1609 are rare.
So if there's weeds, you gotta hand pluck that shit.
Yes.
Oof.
Only blank such events have occurred since containment, and 1609 quickly reverts to a passive state after such a response if it does not continue to feel threatened. 1609 arrived in Foundation custody on, the date is blanked out, after teleporting into an unused containment cell at Storage Site 08 in its current state. Careful investigation has revealed that 1609 was originally a large chair made of varnished oak and bleached leather, carved in the form of a reclining woman in a restful state. 1609 appears to have possessed its anomalous properties in this state, albeit with certain limitations, namely that the object would only teleport when a person within a certain radius, which is currently unknown, felt the need to sit down or rest without a comfortable seat or chair nearby. At this point, 1609 would teleport to them and remain in place until another person experienced a similar urge. This SCP originated as a sentient chair that would teleport to you if you needed to sit down and there was no chair nearby.
That's why it can teleport everywhere.
And that's why it has the desire to constantly be doing something to help. Whatever happened to it at GOC has turned it into this thing that feels the need to defend itself. And because they apparently put it in the state it is now, where it's a bunch of screws and mulch and splinters, whenever it feels threatened, it uses its teleport ability to teleport into your body to kill you. All right.
What a bunch of gawks.
I will continue. On blank date, both Foundation operatives and members of the GOC were made aware of the existence of 1609, which was given the temporary designation of E-622. Due to the hard-to-contain nature of SCP-1609, and the possibility of its existence causing a breach of secrecy regarding the existence of supernatural phenomenon. A small-scale effort to contain SCP-1609 was launched by GOC forces. It is presently unknown how exactly GOC operatives captured 1609, but it is known that they succeeded in reducing the object into its current form using a wood chipper. Further attempts to destroy 1609 failed due to its properties and ability to teleport away from sources of danger. Following this event, several members of GOC died under unusual circumstances. Investigation through both official channels and embedded foundations within the GOC has potentially linked 1609 to at least 3 deaths of personnel within the Coalition, although the true number of casualties amassed during their mishandling of the item is unknown. 1609 then arrived in Foundation custody. It is unknown how 1609 was aware of the existence of the Foundation, although it is theorized that it entered Foundation custody due to a low risk of further damage to itself. It's pretty good stuff. One. Yeah, I like it a lot, though.
I liked it.
It was like, it would have been a good guy if you wouldn't have gocked it up. So, yeah, good stuff.
Thanks.
You seem to really enjoy saying gawk, so
yeah.
Glad you had fun with that one.
Oh, yeah, why not? It's fun.
All right. Gonna mark it, take a quick break between these two stories. Because as Robin pointed out, we're running out of time.
I gotta pee, though.
All right. Brian says, question of the week. If instantaneous teleportation, Taution, existed, but each time you used it, there was a minuscule chance of coming out the other side completely mutilated, would you use it? Probably not. Unless in like desperate situations where like you had to get somewhere.
Unless I fucked it up like in Harry Potter.
I mean, I think that's basically what this would be. If there was a way where as long as you concentrated and used it properly, this wouldn't happen, then I'd probably use it. If there was a chance just that was random, I definitely wouldn't. It's like playing Russian roulette. And how often would you use it? I would probably only use it if like someone was in a life-threatening situation that I could prevent by being there immediately.
You wouldn't be like, you know what? I want to spend like a month, 2 months in a foreign country, but I don't want to pay for the plane ticket.
Right.
You would use it? Or wouldn't
use
it? What? I'm sorry, but I wouldn't ever use it. If I knew that I was going to get mutilated, you know, there was even the smallest chance that I could die, no thanks.
I could travel from the second floor of my house to the first floor of my house by jumping instead of using the stairs. But there's a chance I could break my legs, so I don't.
if there were a Hermione on the other side to heal me, then I would. But I don't know. Brian says, isn't there a random chance of being mutilated every time you get behind the wheel of a car? That's very true.
But it just depends on how good of a driver you are.
Yeah.
If you're taking a route where, you could just get hurt by sitting still at a stoplight, then yeah, it's very possible that it's not going to be something you can control. But in a lot of situations, it really depends on whether or not you're paying attention. So that's why I said, is it something where if I'm trained, I can reduce that risk to almost zero, similar to teleporting in Harry Potter.
Yep.
And driving a car. People that suck at driving a car are infinitely more dangerous and at risk of mutilating themselves and others versus people that are defensive drivers who, if you see someone driving like that, well enough,
you swerve out of the way,
take a different route, get out of their way.
Yep.
And I deliberately don't take freeway if I don't have to.
Or the people that brake right in front of you and you have to, pull off to the edge to make sure you don't rear end them.
Right.
Oh my God.
There's an inherent amount of risk in anything. You just need to better define your question here.
And
because
it
the way you
depends
make it
on
sound
the
is like,
percentage of risk.
Yeah.
Because if the risk for mutilation, right, is 1 in a trillion or some shit, it's like, oh yeah, sure. If 1 in a trillion chances that I would get mutilated, sure, I'd use it.
Yeah, and Carly points out there's no way I couldn't travel without high chances of mutilation. I'd buy a plane ticket. It's just there's a risk in anything. I'm not controlling literally anything when I get on a plane aside from the fact that I can control if I get on or off the plane. And if it's somewhere that I'd prefer to drive, I'd just as soon drive. I'd much rather spend 4 hours in a car than 45 minutes on a plane because I have more control.
There's times where we're like, oh man, this is where we fucking die on a plane.
Yeah, but it always makes you think twice.
But we get on the next one.
But if it's just this basic form of a minuscule chance of coming out mutilated on the other side, it's if someone gave me a teleport and they said there's a 1% chance you're going to come out mutilated, I'd be like, take this with you, get the fuck out of my house.
It's like when you get plastic surgery and there's a 30% chance you could die on the table. 30% is a huge chance that you could die on the table. There's a difference between the 30% chance and, like I said, 1 in a trillion, 1 in a billion.
Yeah, you can make up statistics for literally anything. If I was just going for a walk from my driveway to my sidewalk to grab my mail, I get hit by a fucking meteor and die. And that's a minuscule chance, but I'm not going to stay in my house for the rest of my life. This makes it sound like the risk is incredibly high and almost a certainty if you use it often enough.
Yeah.
And if you were using it, you'd probably use it every time you wanted to go somewhere. So, and on top of that, it's instantaneous teleportation. It's is it in a receptacle that I'm going to? Am I starting at point A and going to point B where there's something stationed there, like a telephone booth between 2 spots? Or is it I can just teleport somewhere?
But what if you teleport and you teleport splicing yourself into another person?
Yeah, it's just not worth it. So,
have you watched the Coven season of American Horror Story?
Yeah.
Yeah, where she teleports herself onto the spike of the fence.
Yeah. Fuck that.
All right. I'm gonna go pee.
Carly says, reclining woman in a restful state is such a weird description. Lizard Tree says, I love this SCP. Bunny says, if anyone is interested in doing the Scaryish Family Secret Santa, please go to the Discord channel and react to the post and let Mad Scan know. Yeah, it's on Discord right now if people would like to jump into it. No pressure, but if you want to, some folks are going to be doing that, so feel free to do it. Carly says, as a Walmart associate, you definitely don't need that fridge. To Elizabeth Tree says, someone just hacked my Walmart account and tried to buy a full-style mini fridge, and now I want it. That's hilarious. Izzy Peach says, hi. What up, Izzy Peach? Thank you for joining us. Carly says, get an old one that works and paint it. LOL. That's funny. All right. Since Robin's not here, we're just going to have to wait. I'm just going to clarify my statement regarding Matt. So I want to make sure we have all of my opinions in line here. I identify with Matt. I was a prankster growing up. I have a lot of people who would refer to me as someone who was always saying something to piss someone off, or they'd call me an asshole. That's a fair description. And Matt was very much like that. Matt was not a thief. Matt did not steal from his friends. Matt did not sell things to shady people after he stole from his friends. And that is a completely different brand of human being. That's why I say it's not tomato. That's why I really don't feel like that. And that's why when I see that character, I'm like, you have ruined Matt. Because it's he is loyal to a fault. Even though he's scared, he is loyal. And when you see oh, this tiny little town, within 10 minutes, he's fucking over someone that he lives with that he's probably known his whole life. I was just Jesus. And then he's on top of that, this degenerate gambler that's always trying to, gamble money and shit, and he's bad at it. I was just what the hell did they do to him? It was so easy to just have him be the same as he is in the book. Lizard says, Adam, I haven't seen the show yet, but I'm on your side. He wasn't that way. It's just weird, man. It's You would notice the difference if like this was a person you knew and it was your friend and they always acted the way they did in the book, and the next time you saw them they acted like Matt does in the show. You'd be like, something's wrong. Like, are you okay? And that's how I felt watching. I was like, something's wrong. Carly says they're aging them up and making it darker because Amazon wants this as the Game of Thrones, though. I'll take it. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not Game of Thrones. It is not Game of Thrones. It shouldn't have to be Game of Thrones. Aging them up is fine because you don't want a bunch of like 13, 14-year-olds out on the road. It gets kind of weird that way. Having them be 18 is fine, but like you don't need to have a show appealing to the lowest common denominator to bring people in. And I think that they disrespect the audience when they do that. I think you're just showing that you don't trust people to recognize a good show for a good show. And so when you have stuff in there that's like unnecessary, it's like the same thing that happened to the Game of Thrones in season 2. Everyone's like, why is there so much fucking sex in this show? Why is everything sex position? People have sex. You get to see naked. You get to see boobies. You get to see butts. And then they talk about something. It's like, you can just have them talk to each other without them fucking, right? And so when I was watching Wheel of Time, I was like, there's no way they add a bunch of sex position into a book that had like no sex. And they put sex in like almost immediately. I was like, ugh, come on. Lizzie B says, what show is this? Wheel of Time show. Or just the Wheel of Time. It's on Amazon. Pink Penguin says, as a reference to earlier, Amazon is hoping that Wheel of Time is the milkshake that brings all the boys to the yard. They are. Carly says, definitely agree with you there. But it is what it is, and I'm genuinely surprised at how much of it I do enjoy. I will say I probably won't match up with how much you enjoy it, because there's so many times where it goes back to something where I'm like, I just wish they would have done this the way they did in the book, because it's just like this fast-forwarded shitty version of it. Pink Penguin says, I was telling my significant other that the sex scenes in the books are very fade to black, if they even exist at all. Like, sex scenes, I don't think there's a sex scene in the book until like book 4. And like it happens in 10 minutes on the show. So Liztree says, they didn't even age them up that much. In book 4, Nynaeve is 26 and 8 years older than the others. So 19 is about right. Yeah, it's like they were about that age, like where they were coming of age, where they were going to start courting and stuff like that. And they're almost the same, but they just like hypersexualize stuff to start. So let's stop talking about Wheel of Time. I love talking about Wheel of Time, and it's all I'll talk about. And if Robin comes back in here and I'm still talking about it, she's going to be super pissed at me. So, all right. Carly says, this is why we need to live in a world where I can come on your show and give the opposite perspective. Absolutely not. I already have 2 co-hosts that do that. I will say Garrett is happy-go-lucky, and Garrett hated Game of Thrones because like 2 words were different than the book. And that show is so dedicated to the source material and built up an amazing audience because of being dedicated to the source material. And so seeing this one being so far away from the source material and Garrett's being like, it's okay, who cares? It's like, fuck you, I care. Like, the source material rocks.
Okay. All right. Oh, man. My hair's a mess. All right, so the final SCP of this episode is number 4999. And its containment class is Keter, so that's kind of scary. The special containment procedures go like this. So due to 4999, yeah, 999, 4999. I was like, did I say 2 little 9s or too many 9s? Due to SCP-4999's unwillingness or inability to appear before more than one person at a time, in addition to the subsequent and immediate death of any who witness it firsthand, 4999 is effectively self-containing. Any reports of 4999 manifestations captured by security camera feeds, photographs, or similar are to be investigated, and the media confiscated for analysis. All secondhand witnesses among the civilian populace are to be amnesticized. Pretty much, they wipe their fucking memory. Words.
I like how you have this concept in both of your SCPs.
Right? I mean, you're not supposed to know, man. SCPs are like, can't remember. All right, so the description. 4999 is a humanoid entity of unknown origins and composition. Its physical appearance varies, with dark formal wear being the only constant between manifestations. Due to the rarity of recorded 4999 manifestation events and the highly specific circumstances in which they occur, little data concerning its nature or intent is available. However, its behavior is consistent across all recorded sightings. 4999 will manifest only in the presence of one solitary human person at a time. All subjects recorded to date have been in terminally poor health, critically injured, or on their deathbeds, with 4999 appearing nearby and within sight of the individual not more than 20 minutes before their expiration. 4999 will only appear if the subject is conscious and alone. It'll not appear if the subject is comatose, asleep, or unconscious, nor will it appear if they are being cared for by, in the company of, or otherwise being directly observed by another person. So this SCP only shows up when they are absolutely alone. They are awake, conscious, and alone. That is odd.
It's creepy.
I'm trying to think of how many times I'm found alone, and the only times really are when I'm at the bathroom, and not even the bathroom here, because you walk in half the time, but like
I usually check in at the 30-minute mark to see what's taking
but
so
at
long.
work, like when you're in the stall by yourself, upon manifestation, the entity will seat itself directly adjacent to the subject's bed because they're terminally ill, if such furniture is available. If not, it will remain standing or sit on the floor/ground in whatever configuration will allow it direct physical access to the subject without causing disturbance. Once situated, it'll remove a pack of cigarettes from its left inside jacket pocket and offer one to the subject. If the subject accepts, 4999 will place it between their lips, remove one for itself, and light both. If they decline, they'll light and smoke the cigarette instead. The entity will make physical contact with the subject, typically via holding their hand, placing it atop theirs, or resting its hand on their shoulder. 4999 will then remain with the subject, silent and unmoving, until they have passed away. Well, so then how does anybody know that this thing exists?
I mean, I would guess that these things, like, if you're going to look at an SCP and be like, well, how do you know? And then you're going to insert something that hasn't been talked about. I would guess it's based off observation or experiments that are going to come later in the reading.
So 4999 has not been seen to engage in any other activity or behavior and demanifests immediately upon the subject's death. The subject's cigarette, however, will remain, providing the only physical evidence of 4999's presence. No subject thus far has been seen to recoil from or otherwise resist the entity, nor have any attempted to engage it in conversation, despite multiple instances of subjects acknowledging the entity's presence via eye contact, adjusting posture to reciprocate or facilitate the entity's touch, breaking into tears when noticing its presence, or verbally thanking the entity when offered a cigarette. So it sounds like they are videotaping these people, and they don't see it, they see them interacting with it.
Right.
All right. So no subject individuals affected by 4999 share a number of common attributes. Research into identified subjects has indicated that 4999 is more likely to appear if an individual, one, leaves alone, lives alone, is non-religious, is impoverished or homeless, displays a history of mental illness, is a military veteran, has no criminal record, or has never been convicted of a violent crime.
You gotta wonder how it's doing its background checks.
Yep. Has no currently surviving family, is unmarried or otherwise lacks a significant other, has little to no social standing in their community, does not exhibit any record of significant professional or personal accomplishments, has few to no mutually beneficial interpersonal relationships. So it's like there's no one there for you, so they are there for you.
Sounds like a song from Friends.
I'll be there for you. Damn it, babe. I didn't even think about that. You're good.
Nailed it.
But yeah, no, that's what it seems like, right? It seems like they are there to give these people who don't have somebody to keep them company.
Yeah, I agree.
Or you exhibit qualities and life history that have rendered the individual nondescript, anonymous, neglected, or otherwise unremarkable or insignificant by the standards of their respective society. No testing involving 4999 has been authorized or attempted due to available data indicating that observation of a subject precludes its manifestation as well as ethical concerns.
Gotcha.
Because you're just watching someone die, right? 4999 was initially holy shit, was initially discovered as the result of its emerging status as an urban legend, with footage of the entity appearing on hospital security cameras worldwide being disseminated via the internet and various television programs. A minor disinformation program was put into effect to maintain this public image. SCP-4999 was officially registered on November 27, 1998. In the years following, 4999's classification, additional research, and cross-referencing with accounts of similar phenomena have suggested that while concrete evidence of 4999 appearances has become more commonplace due to the advent of photography and video recording technology in the modern era, writings and the artistic depictions of a figure exhibiting similar properties, behavior, and physical resemblances to 4999 exist throughout world history, culture, and mythology, with some accounts being thousands of years old, in some cases predating human civilization. It is not currently understood how pre-modern cultures would have been able to detect 4999's presence. Investigation is ongoing.
That's super interesting.
Yeah. It seems like they are a Grim Reaper.
I find it very interesting they have classified it as Keter, because it doesn't seem dangerous, even though it's present when someone's going to pass away.
Yes.
It seems like it's just there to sort of comfort people and like shepherd them across.
I think it's Keter because they can't control it.
Yeah.
They can't contain it. It's out there. And it's just and when it's there, you die.
Right.
So it's like a little mix of both, even though, you're terminally ill and that's why it's kind of there. I think it's like not a Death Eater. It is a Grim Reaper, and it's kind of there to shepherd you into the afterlife type
Yeah, it
thing.
sounds like a Reaper from Supernatural.
Yes, because it's dressed like a normal person.
Yeah, specifically from Supernatural, where
the whole cigarette thing, though.
They show up at it. I think honestly they just picked a picture where it's like, let's just get a dude who looks like Johnny Cash or something.
He doesn't look like Johnny Cash.
He looks like Johnny Cash from the scene in the prison in the movie Walk the Line.
He looks like Roy Donovan. Ray Donovan.
No, he
Roy
doesn't,
Donovan
he
or
doesn't
Ray
look
Donovan?
like Ray Donovan. This doesn't look much like him, aside from the fact like he has some scruff. Ray Donovan would never have that hair.
What?
But
what hair do you think he has?
He has short, tight, cropped hair. This is like this is something you would see on a salon's wall of like men who were like looking to have something like way overdone with way too much gel in their hair.
Like what's that other show? Mad Men.
Sure. We'll agree on that one because he's holding a cigarette. His collar's open and it's buttoned down pretty far. Or it's opened button-wise pretty far down his chest. So either way, yeah, I think it sounds like a Reaper from Supernatural or something that's there. Not necessarily good or evil. It's more like neutral. It's like there to shepherd you across. The fact that it only shows up for people who are alone, though, and it's apparently that aren't felons, that's really weird to me, too. It kind of almost sounds like a guardian angel, maybe.
They're
looking for like
people
good
that
people
are just alone
to cross them over. Yeah. So, good stuff.
Cool.
All right, let's look over into Stream Chat. That was the last one. We're going to move on to Marbles. I'm going to scooch this over so we can see it while Marbles opens up. This will be right here. Going to scroll up where we left off.
Oh my god, I left my phone in the bathroom.
Of course you did. Because you, of course, were on it in the bathroom. Carly says, but Game of Thrones completely fucked up ultimately.
100.
Here's the thing, though.
At the end only.
Last season, it fucked up. Let everyone down. And why? They shortened it and they rushed it. And it was garbage. Everyone kind of knew those things were all going to happen. Like, they were going to have the war with the Night King. Someone was going to have to defeat the Night King. Daenerys was going to eventually have to confront everyone. She might go crazy based off all the crazy shit she's already done that it's been slowly building to. But when you decide to have like a 6-episode season to wrap up your series, we're going to have all that happen. You can't do it. You just absolutely can't do it. So everyone was super disappointed in it. And I was disappointed in it. And that's how I feel with Wheel of Time. It's like, damn, they're really rushing this thing. And I wish they would just, if they're going to get rid of some stuff, like don't add in so much new stuff where I'm like wishing I saw more of what I remember from the books. It feels like a completely different show. And there's just so much stuff that they add in that they eventually like kind of take out or decide that they're going to not play off of as much. Like, I don't want to spoil too much stuff, but like the hands thing, that's not part of the books at all.
Hands.
And 5 episodes in, they mention like, oh, apparently you don't actually need your hands for that. It's like, yeah, no shit. Why'd you even bother adding it in aside for just being extra gruesome? There's just a lot of details that I walk through with the show, and I'm just like, unnecessary. Would have been better done the right way. The original way. A Meadow says, I need to listen to the podcast too because I'm watching it as someone who hasn't read any of it, and so far I'm liking it. Just as an overall curiosity. We don't really do a whole lot of book to show comparisons as well. We just kind of review each episode and our reactions to it. A lot of my reactions are informed by the fact that I do have such a familiarity with the source material. All right. Exclamation point vote, then a space, then the number that corresponds with the track you would like to race. All right.
Killer Cupcake says, I'm watching Friends. I love Friends.
That's
We're
funny.
currently watching How I Met Your Mother, which is the modern Friends.
Newer Friends. Carly says, I love both the books and the show, if that helps. Brian says, how do we know it doesn't appear
he later
while
goes
they're
on
unconscious
to say,
and alone? I saw him say, I retract my question, so I was wondering, wonder what that one's regarding. So that one's been retracted.
Lizardtree says, I need to go back and re-listen to this episode later. I've missed half this SCP, but it sounds so interesting.
Amanda says, or A Meadow says, LOL, it does since my husband has read them and he hasn't made it totally clear on his opinion, other than small things here and there. It's kind of hard because they're very different things.
Small things.
And then Curse Wolf states, I don't state my opinion because I don't want to ruin the show or books.
True.
But I don't know how I feel about the show yet. I'm still enjoying it, but I still don't know. That's how I feel. And so many scenes where I'm like, I did enjoy this, but I didn't enjoy this. There's always like one step forward, one step back. Sometimes episodes are like 2 or 3 steps forward and I'm really excited. And then I hit a moment or a few things where I'm just like, man, that hurt. Like there's been a few times where Garrett was like, that was even bad for me. And I was like, okay, cool. Because that really cut me to the bone. So some scenes are really good. Some scenes are just like way too over the top. And I'm just like, God damn, dude.
But I walked in on a scene where Lan was just like beating his chest and stuff. And I was like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah. And that's 100% original for the show.
It was too long. It's like too much mourning. And
people are really divided on that scene. Some people are like, oh, it's the best episode I've seen so far. And there's a lot of folks that are like, I kind of didn't like it. And I kind of fall right in between on both of it because I'm like,
it dragged on
it's okay.
too long.
I don't think it's bad, but I just think it was like, it's just not what really you're kind of expecting. The most recent episode was very controversial because, again, wanting to expedite things, make them move quickly. This episode was very slow. And I do kind of like slow burn stuff. So I was like, this is kind of what I was hoping for around this time. But it was just so very different from everything that I was hoping to see.
Yeah. If you're new to our streams, every live stream where we do stories and stuff, not our game streams, just these, we play marbles at the end of them just to kind of wind down, hang out with you guys a little bit more before we pop off. And it's just a little free opportunity for you folks to win some Scaryish stickers. The winner of, we do 2 races. The winner of each race will be able to choose a Scaryish sticker of their choice, and I will mail it out to you.
Carly says, there are definitely differences, but I mean, I've told my husband 1,000 times already that with the scenery, I feel like they took images straight from my mind's eye, and some of the more drastic differences are ones so far I can live with and understand the reasoning behind. Okay, now I'm done. LOL, I'm so sorry. I really love the scenery. There's certain things that I do wish they would have included, which have been completely cut out. Like the journey down the river, the thing that's seen off in the distance, that's totally foreshadowing. That's been completely cut at this point.
Chunkster says, anyone excited for Harry Potter reunion on January 1st?
We were totally talking about it.
I just love the little trailer that HBO has going on for it. It looks just Harry Potter vibes straight up. I love seeing all the actors in that little, I'm excited. It looks good. Eye
of the Storm is the #1 track that is being voted for right now. Pink Penguin says, I love Walk the Line. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I remember the memes from the final season. It was a mess. Brian says, K, time to see if Twitch is done being a stuttering sphincter. Carly says, they totally phoned it in. It was trash. Here's the other thing too. Those actors worked really, really hard for it to come up flat and to go into a season, like having put your lives into it. Like, people's lives were ruined for being in Game of Thrones. Jack Leeson, the kid who played Joffrey, he retired from acting because people treated him so badly on the streets because he portrayed that character exactly.
He's such a good actor.
Exactly how he was written. And people would walk up to Cersei Lannister, the chick that played Cersei Lannister, Lena Headey, and tell her she was a bitch on the street. Like she was that actual character. And it's like, you did all that for a wet fart of a final season. And they also spent hundreds of millions of dollars on that last season, which is why they shortened it.
It's because of all the CGI, right?
Yeah. George R.R. Martin flew to HBO to tell them they needed to do 10 seasons, when they announced they're going to wrap it up in season 8 with 6 episodes, he flew there and begged them to do 10 seasons.
He did an interview recently where it was like, I hated what they did to it.
He knew they were going to ruin it. And that's the thing is like, you can't rush some stuff. And it's like, that's the thing that bothers me the most is they rushed it because
did they finish it? Because it was still so hype.
They rushed it because they're like, oh, this is the last bit of storyline we have. Yeah, then just do it in 6 episodes. And that's the thing that's really worrying me about Wheel of Time is there's 14 books. Maybe you don't want to make 14 seasons of amazing television. We were just talking about Supernatural. That shit lasted for 15 seasons, and some of those seasons suck. Why would it be so bad to have a show that goes for 14 seasons and is amazing every season?
It doesn't cost as much to make.
What doesn't?
Supernatural.
Okay, cool. I'm talking about having a great show that you can put your money into and get money out of.
But that's why they don't want to spend that money.
But that's okay. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I don't want to spend money because it might cause me to make money. It's like, I'd rather be cheap and phone it in. And that's how it feels with some of the episodes for Wheel of Time so far. All right. Eye of the Storm is going to be the track we're going to race. I'm Beatrice. This is the first time Western and myself have heard about a Harry Potter union.
Is this
HBO. Only on cable? It will be on cable. All right. Gonna go ahead and select Hubamax. Eye of the Storm, it finished with 5. Record time, 50 seconds. Average time, 2 minutes almost. Minute 59.979. Our time is a little bit slower, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. And Liz Tree holds the record with 1:48. Let's jump in there.
We used to rewatch Game of Thrones all the time, and then that last season happened and we haven't rewatched it since because I'm just like I can't get
and those
to that
other
point.
Seasons are masterful. They're some of the best seasons of television
there's that meme
ever made
where it's like they're drawing a horse.
Yep, the
and
horse
it's a
meme
gorgeous
is so
horse
perfect.
at some point where it's so realistic, and at the end it's just like a fucking
head.
kid
It's fucking circle head.
Ugh, god damn it.
It's so accurate too, man. Yeah, Carly says GRRM needs to get a move on. I don't think he's going to finish that series. I think he's so broken by how the series played out on television that he would rather work on something new. And he stated that when people predicted the R plus L equals J thing, it demotivated him because he doesn't like writing predictable fiction.
The whole show,
that's what slowed him down a whole bunch.
Right?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff you see coming in the whole show and in the books as well. There's a lot of things that shock you though. The first book, no one thinks, a certain character's going to die, and he does. Quickly.
Exclamation point play to throw your marble into the mix. It's about to go down this drain.
I'm What's Nerd says, I really want to see someone make a series based off the Aragon series.
Ooh, that would be
with
good.
Input from the author to make sure they don't mess it up like they did in the movie.
Aragon was one of my favorite books when I was younger, like middle school.
High five has been redeemed by Cursed Wolf. Also, shout out to Izzy Peach. Why do you hit so fucking hard?
Man.
For donating 1,000 bits. And I just like to point out that's exactly why my mom said she'll never high five you again, because you are so violent in the way you high five people. We got 26 marbles. That's pretty dang good. As soon as this funnel starts, let's check out the rest of the track.
Changmi says too strong.
She's the kid who plays too rough. I've always told that about her.
Thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. I know Adam already read it, but I didn't say thank you, so thank you.
Nice. Brandon said, may the odds be ever in. And I think it's your favor.
Your favor.
Look at all of them coming quick. Let's zoom out.
My hand fucking hurts.
Maybe don't hit people so hard, dog. There's no reason for it. All right, Lisbeth Tree's Ghost Ball and Bunny Cakes are kind of neck and neck right now. And then the rest of us are sort of trickling through. Pink Penguin says, the Devery books by Catherine Kerr are amazing, but I feel like they would be hard to adapt into a TV series.
I read the Bitten books. They are a fantasy series about werewolves, but it's like a huge universe that the author makes where there's witches, werewolves, stuff like that. So you can read the books about like the Bitten series, and that's about the werewolves. And then there's I think it's like one of the books is like Dime Magic, and that's the one about witches, but then they like meet up at some point. So I've read those, and I think those are good, but those to me are like trash fiction, where it's like guilty pleasure fiction, where it's not the best writing, but you just love reading it. It's not like Game of Thrones and stuff where there's so much detail and so much like fleshing out of this world.
IMB Trainer. Ooh, a lot of us are falling off. That's a lot. IMB Trainer actually phased on Latreia, Carly, Woo, Scarish, and Donosaur have all fallen off. Killer Cupcake got to the end first, but has slowed down. Bunny Cakes, Cursed Wolf, Script Reglitch, Malum, Cat Beatrix, Jamie. Jeez Louise, they all passed away, but Kill a Cupcake takes the win. Nefcore is also gone. Still got lots of folks trying to make it through. Chunk says, I love the Dark Power series by the same author. That's interesting. Good lord. They're all coming fast. Chunkster is also falling off.
Listener says there was an Animorphs TV show. It was short-lived. Yeah, I like fantasy fiction
Red
like
Keto,
that. That's super
Meadows
fast and
off.
easy to read. Those books are the books that I own that the spines are like fucked.
Yeah. Laura Ann is second, Brandon is third, Robin is fourth, Pink Penguin is fifth, Sherry Sue is sixth.
My copy of the first Game of Thrones book is like a mess though too.
It's your second book.
Is that my second one?
It's like got chapters that have fallen out of it.
Yeah, the back half is like torn off.
Yeah. That one looks rough.
It's really bad.
My dad's copy of Eye of the World that he had for the longest time was in super rough shape, but it was able to get me through my first read, and then after that I got to buy them all, or get them for like birthday or Christmas gifts for the longest time. Kill a Cupcake 1991, type in ! merch, click that link, go over to Robin's Quiet Corner, find yourself a Scaryish themed sticker, then reach out to us and say, this is the one I want, here is where you can send it. We'd be happy to do so. You go up to 10 points on the season. Laura Ann gets up to 7, Brandon's up to 5. We're going to review the rest of them if they're making big moves. It looks like Lizardtree is not big move, but they're up to 6. Curse Wolf is at 11, looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and get voting on our second race of the evening.
This very evening.
Carly says, my copy of Eye of the World is broken too. I have bought that book 3 times because I've broken it twice.
You have so many copies of that book.
3 copies. One of them had to be thrown away. One of them I gave away.
There's one in the garage still.
That's my original copy.
And then there's the new one we bought.
So 3 with one of them that got given away. All right. Swipe that.
I also have a copy.
No, you don't.
Did you steal it?
Yeah.
Did you give it away?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I bought her a copy 11 days into knowing her. She never even opened it. I gave it away a year or two ago.
I told him, I like R.A. Salvatore books, and he's like, oh, okay, here's this book that I like, and I didn't read it.
Oh, no, tell them all of it. Also, Brandon redeemed a high five because they want to see my hand get abused more. What
bad.
else did I get you at the same time?
A bunch of signed copies of R.A. Salvatore
I bought her
books.
every autographed copy of an R.A. Salvatore book in the Las Vegas Valley for our first Valentine's Day together. And one book that I just so happened to like. Because I was like, here's one that I like. Hope you enjoy it.
Kill a Cupcake says, surprise me. Just let us know where to mail it, at least, so that I can choose something and then fill out the postage.
Chunk says, you guys make my stay at work late less lonely.
Aw, nice.
We're glad to hear that.
That's what I would do, too. If I still worked at GameStop and I had to be closing up, I would do the same thing. Just put it on while I'm cashing out the registers and stuff. Torture my GAs.
Pink Penguin says, I might be weird, but I get enjoyment out of seeing a little wear and tear on my books. It shows that I've read and enjoyed them. I have a tattered copy of Little Women. I also like getting a little bit of wear and tear on my books, but not too much where it makes it unsightly.
Only on trade bags. Trade paperback books.
Right.
Or no,
like
trade
OG...
is the bigger size, right?
No?
Mass market is, or mass...
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Mass market's like
mass
the small
market
ones.
is the small ones. Trade is the medium ones. I will only do that for the mass market, the little tiny books. My manga, if you crease my manga, I will fucking kill you.
All of my comic books are still in their original
oh my god, if I
packaging.
lent a manga to someone and they creased the spine, I would murder. Like, Adam watches me read my manga. I barely open the pages, okay?
It's true.
I will barely open the pages so that I can, enough to read it. But if someone creased it, I would kill them.
Exclamation point play. Marble Centauri had by far and away the most votes at 9, so we got ahead and booted that up.
Jamie says, Robin, did you play volleyball or something? I played soccer.
No, Robin's just an asshole and likes hitting people really hard that can't hit them back.
And I can kick real hard too.
Chunkster says, dang, Adam, you're putting all of the boyfriends out there on the spot. That's a great Valentine's Day gift.
It was a very
It's probably
great
like the
gift.
best Valentine's Day gift I've ever gotten her, and it was 11 days in.
And you were a broke ass bitch. I don't know how you afforded it.
I spent a lot of money.
Now I just pre-order the books and he signs them anyway.
Robin always never misses a beat to remind people that I was poor when we met. So was she.
Yeah, I'm still broke as a bitch.
Have you joined?
Oh, no. Hold
Exclamation point play. I think we had like 23 marbles last time.
25.
Well, we only have 20 right now, y'all. Exclamation
21.
point play.
I
Get
just
in
jumped
there.
in.
Everyone make sure you're in.
Let's see. Kill a Cupcake says, how do I message you my address? Email us at storytime@scaryish.com. And just give us your name and your mailing address so that I can package it up.
Carla says, y'all are brave lending out books I can't. Never got it back, which is why I don't like to lend out books.
I don't lend books either. If I give you a book, I don't expect it back.
Yeah, I expected mine back because they said they would give it back to me as soon as they were done with it, and they never gave it back. Also, I lent out...
one time we lent out like a D&D book, and it came back broken.
I got 2 5th edition players' handbooks when they first came out. I bought myself one. And then like we had it pre-ordered and I could have sworn like the payment failed or something like that. And then Robin fixed it. So it came in the mail a few days later. I was like, shit, I have 2 of these now. And I couldn't return either of them. So we decided to start a campaign and I was going to be the DM and I lent it to friends of ours. And there was 2 couples and one couple, I was like, you guys can take one of the handbooks. The other couple can take the other one. The next week we met and the other couple had stated like, oh, we went out and we bought our own. So here's yours back. They gave me one with a broken spine that had half the book literally falling out. Like as soon as you opened it, it would just fall out. And I was like, this isn't what I gave you. And they argued with me. Like, yes, it is. This is exactly how you gave it to us. I was like, no, it's not. Absolutely not. The book I gave you was brand new.
We take
used
such
it all
good
night.
care of our books. And
I was so annoyed.
Like, ugh.
Clearly, I'm still annoyed about it. And then the other couple insisted we never gave them the book.
And then they were moving and they're like, oh, here's your book back.
No. They were moving and the female member of that couple had a new boyfriend and the new boyfriend found it like under the bed and he brought it back to me. And when he found it...
Is that why you love him so much?
Yeah, when he found it, he showed it to his girlfriend like, oh, what's this? And she was like, oh, that must be my ex-boyfriend's. And he's like, doesn't Adam tell a story about how he lent you guys a book and you never brought it back? And he's like, I'm going to give this to Adam. I'm pretty sure it's his. Sure enough, it was fucking mine. I'm pretty sure there's an AD in the top left with my initials on it and everything. And it was just tucked under the bed. Like they flipped through it, someone tucked under the bed. I'm sure it was the boyfriend.
Brandon Chicken redeemed a high 5.
Again?
Pep your hand, baby.
Just give me a normal high 5.
What's a normal high 5?
Where you don't fucking hurt the knuckles of the other person.
I don't hurt your knuckles. I don't know what you feel like. But...
That one wasn't bad.
But it wasn't loud. It's sad.
It was pretty loud. Yeah, man, that was like so heartbreaking getting that player's edition. After that, I was like, I'm just literally never going to lend out any of my books to anyone ever again.
Pink Penguin says, I've been going willy-nilly buying books now that I have money, but as a kid, the library was my second home. Let's see. For me, I've been buying way too many Gundams. And Adam was like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, is it too much to ask for Gundams? Let's see.
Bunny Cake says, it was loud. I heard it all the way across the world.
Liz Vitri says, damn, Robin, you kicking all our asses. I don't know why that happens a lot. Like, I win.
She's just got that magic touch.
Winner chicken dinner.
Jamie said to Brandon, taking his anger out on Strim. And Beef Trainer has redeemed a high 5.
I gotta use my other hand now. My right hand hurts.
That's just you punching my hand with your
I
hand.
didn't punch it. It was
you just didn't clench
palm.
a fist. There was no high 5 involved in that. That was just like fucking knuckles to knuckles. Brandon says, this is the trollest map, but I'm not mad. There used to be a jump in the older version of it where you could like bounce over the earth or something like that. I think it was like these pegs could launch you over the earth. Jamie and I'm What's Winner have both just fallen off.
People are catching up though.
So did Brandon. Robin got slowed down by these pegs. Scriptery. Pink Penguin has also fallen off. Pink Penguin mentioned that's how... Oh, shit.
Suck it!
That's how me and my broke middle/high school friends survived. We lent each other manga all the time because they were expensive. Glitch has also fallen off. I can't believe Robin went wire to wire with that victory.
Enzo Matrix says you gotta slightly cup the palm to get the loud 5.
She doesn't. She flattens it like this, and she hits you as hard as she can. All right.
Watch, next time we all hang out, everyone's going to be like, you got to high 5 me.
You guys won't want to high 5 her. My mom is like one of the sweetest people in the world sometimes.
And she just like looks at her like,
I will never high 5 you again. Like, that's saying something, man.
I'm sorry. I'm too strong.
We had kids and they're like in their fucking teenage years and we were picking them up from school And they're like, "What up, Mom?" And Robin was like, "What up?" And she high-fived them, and a teacher saw. CPS would be at our house by the time they got home.
No.
They'd be like, "Something's wrong with that woman." All right. Robin wins, goes up to 12 points on the season. Kill a Cupcake goes to 11. I think Wolf was at 11, and I don't think Wolf got in for this one.
Motherfuck.
Now we know who that one was that missed out. Oh, being called out. Beef gets 6 points, goes up to, or I Am Beef Trainer, goes up to 7 points. Chunkster gets off the goose egg, along with Donosaur going up to 4 and 3 respectively. A Meadows goes up to 5. I got my first point. Yippee, hooray. Along with Bunny Cakes going up to 2. Nefcor, Latrea, Kill a Cupcake. Excuse me. Nefcor and Latrea going up to 1. Like I mentioned, Kill a Cupcake is at 11. All right. Enzo Matrix says, okay, Battle Royale next week. I think that's a good idea because you get so many points off of Battle Royale. IMB Trans says, woot, not dead this time. I say that every day I wake up. I'm always so happy that I didn't die in my sleep. I'm just like, it's going to be a good day.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
I was thinking a different song. I'm glad you clarified that. All right. Quitting out of that. We're going to go ahead and move us into the beautiful outro of the show and then figure out what we have to do next in this wonderful Wednesday.
Would you be my neighbor?
Sure. Kat says, that was fun. Been a long time since I played marbles. Back to studying. Inner sub.
Good luck. Good luck to everybody who's taking finals, who's finishing up school this semester, who is finishing up work before they have an actual winter vacation. Hopefully you get a winter vacation. I don't know.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody who takes time out of their nights to hang out with us on Wednesdays and listens to us during their work shifts and shares us with their friends. We appreciate you.
Listener says, why is GOT censored in Twitch chat? I don't think it is. Someone just said GOT earlier when they were referring to Game of Thrones.
Is it Gawk?
Gawk might be.
Suck my Gawk.
I have like the censorship on like the lowest thing, except for like I have input in manually the bad words that I don't want to see it come across, and GOT is not one of them. So that is weird. Anyways, let's go ahead and move over into the end of the show. If you redeem a high five from here on out, it will not be redeemed because we will be doing this. MB Trans says, I think I still need to redeem a prize from 2 or 3 weeks ago. We trust you guys to keep track of that. We can only keep track of the ones that you send in.
I only keep track.
That was a high five for MB Trainer because I couldn't remember if we did it or not.
Oh, okay. We only keep track of like
who mails us what.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, Lister says it's censored for me. I have to click it to uncensor it.
Oh, so it depends on who.
I think that
sees
you
it.
can just turn that off on your own.
Yeah.
You can decide which censorship you want from your viewing platform because it doesn't uncensor it on my end. If it does it for anyone else, we can look into it. But honestly, I don't know what to do. So, all right. Glitch has tossed up all the links, which we love to see. Going to go ahead and mark it. And then this is the end of the show. So I want to thank everyone who listened and everyone who watched live. Again, we do these episodes live on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're back on standard. We're out of that daylight savings time, which is always nice. If you would like to join us, you can go to youtube.com/Scaryish or twitch.tv/Scaryish Podcast. We would love to see you here live. And if not, these episodes do release on Fridays at 4 a.m. Pacific Time yet again. And they are edited, so you don't get any of the like chit-chat and the banter in between the stories that we do with the wonderful people that have joined us. But either way, whichever way you choose to listen, we appreciate you. If you have a creepypasta or an SCP of your own or a suggestion that you would like to hear on the show, please email pastatime@scaryish.com or go to our website, scaryish.com, and click on Contact Us. Fill out that form. It comes directly to us. Note that it is for Pastatime. We would love to hear from you. You can also hit us up on any of our social medias. Twitter is @ScarishPod. Instagram is @ScarishPodcast. And Facebook is facebook.com/ScarishPodcast. Robin, for folks who would like to donate to us, how can they do so?
I was trying to do like a news anchor type thing. Like, thank you, Adam, for tossing that over to me. You can go to Patreon, patreon.com/ScarishPodcast. And those are monthly donations. Tiers start at $1. You can also go on over to Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/ScarishPodcast. And those are one-time donations. All your donations going to help us keep this podcast going. And other than that, do you have anything else?
No, we did coffee. We did Patreon.
Yeah.
Cool. That's about it. So
we got merch. Don't forget Teespring, all that stuff. Etsy. Yeah. We got stuff.
Pastatime number 22 complete. Robin, go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll see you next time.
Sound like a sweet song. Keep on creeping on. Bye.
Bye.